Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kecara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. Today I'll continue sharing from the book by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche, and this is the book that I'll be sharing from, The Living Buddha Within, Sam Rinpoche. I'll be reading from chapter 7, Ready for Practice. It will be a continuation and it will be from page 121. Previously I've shared on the Buddha, so maybe you visit my previous session and then you continue with this. So let me share a picture of the altar with you, which we'll be learning about in this chapter. There you go. See in the center, that's Lama Tsongkhapa, and on the left, looking at the Buddha, it's Manjushri, Buddha Manjushri, who is the Buddha of wisdom, and on the right is Buddha Tara, and Lama Tsongkhapa himself is a representation of three Buddhas, who is Buddha Manjushri, Buddha Chenrezig, and Buddha Vrajapani. So now we go to the page 121, and it's on Dharma text. So on the left of the Buddha, you put a Dharma text. It does not matter if the text is big, made of gold, silver wrapped nicely or what. The text can be in any language, Chinese, Tibetan, Hindi, it doesn't matter. Any representations of the Buddha's Dharma should be on the altar. Stupa. On the right, there should be a stupa or pagoda, which represents the Buddha's enlightened mind. In this way, you are worshipping the Buddha's speech and mind of the Buddha. You should all obtain these representations of the Buddha. How big, how high, how small, and what material it's made from is up to you and your finances. The better the material is, the more expensive for you, the better. There is no problem and no conflict between the different deities. Sometimes I give Buddha Shakyamuni to people. They ask, is it okay to place it next to Guan Yin? I told them no, they will fight. Of course it is okay. There is no problem as they are the same. It is just like having glasses of 5 different colors. 2 is yellow, the others green, blue, and white, but the volume inside is the same. Inside it is the same, but from the outside it looks different. You should make beautiful offerings in front of the flowers, incense, light. Electric light is okay, and water, and you should change them daily. Offerings. We should make offerings honestly and not as a result of negative, harmful actions, such as killing or stealing. For example, we should not obtain our offerings with money gained by stealing from others or from negative activities, such as gambling, animal slaughter, and trade. We must always examine our motivations. Even persuading, hinting, or pressuring someone to give us something is dishonest. We also must examine whether we are making offerings or doing any of our practices out of the 8 worldly concerns, such as to impress someone or to hope for praise or for a good reputation. Our offering should be presented to the best of our ability in the most beautiful way. This will create the causes for us to gain the signs of the Buddha when we are enlightened. In order to gain the merits of making offerings, we should also put them out ourselves. If others make the offerings, we will not gain the merit. For example, if I were to be sick and you took the medicine, I will not get well. We can make offerings in sets of 7 or 8 on our altar. The 7 offerings can represent the 7 limbs, or they can represent 1. Water for drinking, 2. Washing the feet, and 3 to 7 the 5 sensory offerings. The offerings of water follow from traditional Indian practices of receiving an important guest into our homes, where we offer them water to drink and wash their feet as a sign of humility. In the same way, we regard the Buddhas as very important guests that we will be inviting into our homes when we recite the prayers. The 5 sensory offerings. Flower representing sight, incense representing smell, perfume representing touch, food representing taste, musical instrument representing hearing. The 5 sensory offerings can be symbolic and don't necessarily have to be fresh. For example, you could offer a plastic flowers or a Swarovski crystal flower for sight. The incense does not have to be lit. For perfume, you can offer those small sample bottles of perfume or a normal bottle, depending on the size of your altar. For food, you can offer representations of food. It is not necessary to offer fresh food. For the offering of sound, you can offer a small toy musical instrument or a conch shell. You can be as imaginative as you like. It is all in the thought behind it. Offering bowls should be made of the best materials we can offer. This was advised by Lama Atisha himself. The best material we can offer would be gold or silver. We should always offer the best that we can within our means to the Buddhas. This is because we could have used our wealth for other material objects to satisfy our own desires or attachments, but we put this instead towards an offering to a much higher being with a higher motivation. We make the offerings we can collect the merits to support and expand our Dharma practice and to be able to spread our Dharma work far and wide. If we cannot afford gold or silver, ceramic, brass or other materials are also perfectly acceptable as offerings, should be made according to our means. It is not that Lama Tsongkhapa or the Buddhas need gold or silver, but we need the merit from our offerings to counter miserliness and grasping, which are obstacles to our spiritual path. With the deepest respect and no offense intended, especially those who are elderly, I would advise you to make offerings as often as possible to the Three Jewels for your future lives. For those who are younger and more able, make offerings on behalf of your parents. It is very important. You can make offerings for anyone and everyone, for your children, family, friends, colleagues, and for your own success. There are 3 types of offerings we can make: the outer, inner, and secret offerings, which each counter the 3 types of obstacles that we face, as outlined above. So, types of offerings. Outer offerings, which are representations of our 5 senses and to cut our attachments or the 7 limbs. These are the 7 bowls of water offerings: 2 of water, 1 for drinking and 1 for washing, and 5 to represent our 5 senses, which are sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell, or 8 bowls, 5 sensory offerings, and 3 representing the body, speech, and mind. Inner offerings, which is for our Dharma practice, which is transformation of our minds. Secret offerings, this is a tantric practice, which is visualizing ourselves as our yidam, eliminating our egoistic and self-grasping qualities. Please note that this is only for the initiated. The least we should offer is clean water, which is plentiful and easily obtained by most of us. Water also represents clarity. There are 8 karmic benefits we gain from offering water, which are: 1. Pure ethics, 2. Access to delicious food, 3. An open and flexible mind and body, 4. A clear mind, 5. A gentle mind stream, 6. Purification of obscuration, 7. Pleasant speech, 8. A healthy body. Although the benefit of offering water are immense, we should always offer the best we can of other items. To do so, we have to be constantly aware of our minds, whether our minds are being deceptive or actually saving the best things for ourselves, instead of offering them up to the Three Jewels. This can result in a rebirth as a hungry ghost, and so it is best to check our motivations at all times. In fact, by being generous with our offerings, we create the causes for wealth to arise and a direct counter to poverty. Before we begin making water offerings, the bowls should be downturned in a row on the altar or stacked up at one end of the altar. Empty bowls that are left upturned on the table shows a sign of disrespect, because it is like offering nothing to the 3 jewels. It also creates the causes for your merits to decline. Leaving empty and upturned bowls may also attract spirits, which can disturb your practice. Take one of the bowls and pour water in. Purify it by reciting Om Ah Hum. Then we pour the water from this first bowl into the next one in a stack of bowls, or into the next bowl on the right of the first bowl, leaving just a little water in the first. We then place the first bowl to the far left of the altar, leaving enough space for the row of 7 or 8 bowls to be placed. This process continues until all the bowls are lined up in a row and filled with just a little water in each of them. Then, going from left to right again, we fill up all the bowls with water, up to within a few millimeters from the rim of the bowl, roughly the thickness of a grain of rice. The row of bowls should have a narrow gap of a few millimeters between each bowl, which should also be the size of a grain of rice. It is believed that if the bowls are too near to each other, it may make our mind dull, and if the bowls are too far apart, we may be separated from our Guru. If we spill the water while pouring into the bowls, our ethics may become loose, and we do not fill the water up to the required level, our standard of living may decline. These guidelines help to increase our awareness and mindfulness as we make the offerings. After we have completed the water offerings, we light a stick of incense and offer it to Lama Tsongkhapa. We also purify the offerings by wafting the incense over the offerings and the altar. So with that, I will end the sharing session for now. Before I go, I would like to share with you the upcoming events at Kechara Forest Retreat. As you can see, this is the Ulabana event, which will take place on the 10th of August on a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Kechara Forest Retreat. The program begins at 9 a.m. with opening speech and Dharma sharing. At 9:30 a.m. it's the Grand Ulambana Genze Puja, which is for good fortune, long life and mantra. At 12:15 p.m. there's the free vegetarian lunch. At 2 p.m. the Grand Ulambana Trakse Puja, which is for protection and blessing. At 5 p.m. we end the event. There are different packages that you are able to sponsor for dedication to your loved ones, or to as gratefulness for those who are around you. The packages starts from $20 and it goes up to $6,888 for the grand sponsor. So imagine, at $6,088, how much merits you can gain to be dedicated to all those that you wish to be blessed from the pujas. And so this will take place at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And there's the numbers that you can call if you have inquiries. And also there's a WhatsApp number, which is 012-982-3908, which you can message and they will reply you. And also there is a email, which is care@kechara.com, where you can send your message. And also there's a website, which is vajasecrets.com, that you can actually go online to do your sponsorship wherever that you may be, and the pujas will be carried out in dedication for your loved ones. So it's all very convenient, and do make a date that you are able to join us. And this is on 10th of August, next month, Saturday. So the next coming event, which will be this Saturday, will be the KFR pilgrimage in combination with the Spiritual Saturday. The event starts at 7 a.m. at Kechara Forest Retreat, where you'll be led in circumambulation, and then the benefits of all this will be explained to you. And so in the future, whenever you visit any sacred and holy places, you know what to do. Or the next time that you come to KFR, you're able to do it on your own to gain all the blessings that we always need for our spiritual path. And at 9 a.m., that's where the Spiritual Saturday starts, where there's an arts and craft class where you can modify the Dorje Shugden car hangers to your likings. And at 11 a.m., you get to watch Star Trek, which is Rinpoche's recommendations, but of course there are always the Dharma explanation behind that. And at 12:30 p.m., then we will have lunch. And if you're interested and able to join us, please do RSVP your place and your meal by contacting us at 017-965-9484 through WhatsApp. So please send your message to RSVP, or maybe if you have any inquiries, do send through this WhatsApp. Or else you can email at retreat@kachara.com, which you will get your reply. And if you can't make it for this Saturday, please consider joining us for the next Saturday, which information you can find at this website, bit.ly/2 capital L O 5 Q capital U capital X. So that is the two events that we'll be having at Kachara Forest Retreat. And thank you for sharing your time with me. And for now, I will end this session with completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangju Senjo Rinpoche, Mage Panam Ge Yushi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Goni Gonu Pewashu, Tony Tonga Rinpoche, Mage Panam Ge Yushi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Goni Gonu Pewashu, Dasojini Sapage Wadi, Dandantrua Gunaga Pada, Jepa Jesu Losantapai, Tamping Imporin to Sa Sesho, Kewa Kunto Yandala Mada, Dromi Choki Pala Lochochi, Sadam Langi Yaterazone, Doji Changi Pangatusu, Gewadi, Yoduda, Lamasangirione, Drewachi Kamalupa, De Salago Joki Kapusungapa. Chosunapa Pewala, Geki Sama Siwadang, Tunki Malu Sawasho, Dadam Sungi Dusunda, Drewa Songi Latini, Gewala Santrapai, Tampayo Ripa, Giushi, Nimo Dele Sendele, Nimigunyan Delashi, Nisintato Dele Pel, Kunchu Sungi Jingilo, Kunchu Sungi Ngoduso, Kunchu Sungi Trasi, Show, Jesulama Kusan Rapinching, Nam Katrini Chochu Kebada, Osam Tempe Dromi Subsongi, Droy Musatatani, Giushi, Gang. Rawi Coalition come then, Benda Dewa Malibu and Cherenzi one Tenzin get so Shape Shiri Badu Deng Yushi. Home dumping Otro Malupa, then the Dala sell to so, Koda Nepa Long Chatna, gave us so shik shop then sell. Thank you again. I hope that you do revisit my previous sharing and also for this sharing, so that you learn how to set up the altar in your house or a place of work, maybe a small altar on your table, that you can continuously make offerings to the Buddhas and gain the blessings for your spiritual path, or even just for protection and for things to be smooth in your life. Thank you, and I hope that you spend your time with my next sharings. Thank you.